Welcome to Shore Perspectives, a community feature of WESR Radio, highlighting the spirit of the shore from those who call it home.
Hi, this is Patrick Daub.
And I'm Helber.
About 3 years ago, with COVID and everything, we had the opportunity to move places that we never thought we could. You know, further away from family, further away from work. We looked at homes down the whole coastline from North Carolina to Georgia.
We had just finished a 5 years project on the house.
And, you know, everything from looking at buying a hotel that had 16 rooms and 2 bathrooms,
Yes.
which didn't make any sense, to a dilapidated beach house. They didn't work out, thankfully, and every time we would go down to these places, we'd drive down 13 and never veer off. Didn't think it was...
We didn't know this existed.
No.
We didn't know the Eastern Shore existed.
Exactly. So one day we just were looking on Instagram and social media. We found our house and we just drove up and
Saw it for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, drove off, turned on the 13, and we called the realtor and put in an offer. So the people that were living in here when we came, they were still living here, but they were living in one room.
An old couple.
An older couple. Apparently never went upstairs, so there was a lot of cobwebs. The house was on the market for almost 2 years. The bones were good, but it just wasn't maintained. You couldn't see the house from the road, you couldn't see the house from the back of the road. And we just got in here and came down from Philadelphia every weekend, stayed 2 days, still had jobs, kept flying back, scrubbing, cleaning. 5 rider trucks back and forth of more
Moving.
stuff. And just layer by layer, we just kept peeling back the landscape, and the neighbors just said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize the house was still there."
The most incredible neighbors, by the way.
Yes, we have fantastic
The first
neighbors.
weekend that we moved in, we had a neighbor just deliberately coming over with, what's the name of that?
He came over with a lift and just
With
helped
a
us with
lift?
the branches off the
And he
house.
spent the whole day cutting the trees that were over the house.
Excellent. It's Eastern Shore hospitality.
Very hospitable.
It is. And we come from different backgrounds, and, you know, a lot of, you know, communities don't accept and don't, you know, embrace, and we have had nothing but love and...
Ever.
Yeah,
It's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Tell me about the property next door.
So we've always thought of it as ours. So we've always maintained, you know, the mowing of the grass around it.
Because it wasn't ours at first.
It wasn't, no, that portion was not. Everyone assumed it was ours, but it never was. And it was just falling apart, you know, the shingles were falling off, we would go over, pick those up. Never, you know, went in, never, you know, touched any of the facade, but we're just maintaining it. One day I would have to go around the store to get the mower to the front of the yard. So I was mowing and I did the front lawn, and then I'm bringing the mower back and there's a for sale sign. I ripped it off, came in here yelling at Helber saying, "We gotta call this guy, we gotta call this guy." We took on every sign. Probably we shouldn't have done that because he had about 5 signs
We
on
had
it.
to. We didn't want anybody else
We were
to
claiming
buy.
our territory.
We were in love with the building. We were really in love with
Yeah.
the building. Just to think that we might have the chance to walk in the building and call it ours. We called the guy and put on an offer, and the deal was done same day.
And he said, "You know, you can go take the for sale signs down." I said, "Oh, well, they're
Okay,
done."
we're gonna do that.
We're going right over. And then we purchased it in December of last year, and slowly but surely have been, you know, just trying to get this back to life. We started with the inside, you know, kind of pulling. It was basically a storage unit. Someone stored their stuff there. So, you know, we've donated stuff. People have taken stuff. A real community effort. Just people driving by, screaming, "Hey, I remember this. I remember when I was little, I went in there. My mom did the laundry in the back. I bought 10-cent candy. I went there for ice cream on Thursdays."
I used to get $1 from Grandpa and go over there, and this person telling you the story is like 85 years old, and you're like, I should be writing this down. This is a piece of history. It should be saved.
So the tax records show 1925, but we've heard stories all the way back to 1895. So, you know, tax records, they're good for a baseline, but they're also not the solid truth. There was the Huffman family that ran it for a number of years, and that's what most of the community remembers. There was a laundromat in the back, and it sold everything from horse feed to, it was a general store. The bookstore was the original general store. We were able to find a bunch of receipts on, I think they were in the floor, and pay stubs and all this different stuff. And our neighbors have also, shared a bunch of stuff from us, framed it. The Savages, Jean Savage has been great. The Cullens, Matt.
And she wrote a few history in the back. Jim Below owned the store in the 50s. Carol worked for him when he was a teenager. He has lots of stories about that. And then she framed and gave it to us, a couple of checks and a receipt.
I've always been obsessed with abandoned houses and, just the structure and the effort that someone took to build that. Think about all the fishermen going to Quimby. How many people have passed that through the 100-some years this has been, on the shore? And it's seen good times and it's all really bad times where people thought, oh my goodness, is it going to be torn down? Or who's going to buy it? What are they going to do with it? Are they going to make it some sort of modern looking?
Just to think that the building was open during the 30s. It was open during the Depression. Imagine all of these neighbors that we grew to love these people. Their families, they went to the store to buy their food. They've been around the store for many years. This store has been part of their lives. And as much as we can do to bring it back, to clean it up, to give them the nostalgia, the feeling of not everything's lost. We still have a lot of good in the world.
And it's been a great opportunity for us because it really pushed us out there.
Yes.
Like people, we've gotten so many friendships just from owning a piece of property.
Yeah, a place that
crazy.
People like. They appreciate, we feel the appreciation of what we're doing. And that's what keeps us moving. That is what keeps us going. We feel the love that people have for the Eastern Shore, that they have for these properties, that they can still be maintained. We don't have to build a black box in the corner. We can keep that glorious building alive with just a few can of paint and some nails.
And it's hard, it's hard work, We're both working, we're both, maintaining our own house, trying to get that in order as well. And then, you back off of it at times. You're like, oh, I really don't feel like doing it today. But then you have somebody honk by, thanks so much, guys, or it looks great, can't wait till it opens. And
I gotta do something today.
Next thing you know, we buy 5 gallons of paint and we're up there on the ladder painting windows and, ripping shingles off and doing this, that, and the other. But it's, I wouldn't look back.
I wouldn't look back.
No.
It's been amazing.
It's been fantastic.
Yeah, it's been incredible.
Yeah. So we're on Facebook, Seaside Traders. We have pulled back a little bit just with, our jobs and, summer, taking care of the property.
Yes.
We're developing the plan. So we're going to post more content there on our progress. We'd love anybody to comment if they've ever experienced anything at the store, come to the store, any stories. And it's Seaside Traders. We kind of named it after the road, and traders, we eventually want to do something in, with thrift store, furniture, coffee shop, something on that line. That's definitely way down the line. But
something that can embrace the whole community. Something that can be a stop for everyone that is driving by. To get a cup of coffee, to get a mug with an Eastern Shore, T-shirts, whatever it's gonna be a lot to sell.
It's the dream.
It's the dream.
The dream. Just do it. I mean, we were very hesitant to buy it. We knew we had to buy it. And, just get in there and dig, because the rewards from doing something that you don't want to do is much greater than not doing it at all. It really, we've gotten such love from the community and been able to reach so many people and get these stories.
I feel like the biggest lesson I learned was not to judge any book, anything by its covers. Things have a lot more content than you can predict and that you can imagine. Everything around here has so much more life than you can imagine. And the building, as soon as we open up and as soon as we walked in there, that we could call it ours, we keep discovering these wonderful things. And then people come by, they stop by, and they share with us these amazing memories they have. So I feel like not to judge and just embrace, and love would always win.
For Shore Perspectives and WESR Radio, I'm Kelley Gaskell.